Okay, so get this.
SpaceX isn't just landing rockets anymore.
They're catching them now.
Wow.
Yeah, we're diving deep into this whole thing.
The Super Heavy booster's return to launch site debut.
Which journalist name redacted saw firsthand.
Right.
Instead of splashing down on a drone ship, this massive booster gently lands back on solid ground.
Yeah.
Right back where it started.
It's a total game changer.
This move really shows how dedicated SpaceX is to a future where rapid reusability is just the norm, not some exception.
Totally.
And it could totally change how we think about paying for space exploration.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little.
Catching a rocket, especially one as big as the Super Heavy, just sounds like something you'd see in a movie.
It's wild.
What kind of precision are we even talking about here?
It's mind-blowing.
I mean, the Super Heavy booster is unlike anything we've seen before.
Right.
It's built to send Starship and whatever it's carrying way up into orbit.
Yeah.
To grab something that massive in midair, you need unbelievable precision and control.
Yeah.
Not to mention, nerves of steel.
I bet, and name redacted was right there to see it.
They said the atmosphere was like a mix between a music festival and a pilgrimage.
Wow.
Laser lights, passionate SpaceX fans, everyone buzzing with anticipation.
The energy at these events is incredible.
Yeah.
SpaceX gets how important it is to capture people's imaginations.
For sure.
They're pushing technological boundaries, but they're also inspiring a new generation, reminding us that the sky isn't the limit,
Yes.
especially with footprints already on the moon.
Speaking of being blown away, name redacted, who's been to like hundreds of launches,
Right.
was floored by this one.
Yeah.
The ground-shaking rumble of 33 Raptor engines igniting, followed by this almost eerie silence as the Super Heavy was caught. I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
It's that contrast that makes it so captivating.
I know.
This raw power, but controlled so elegantly,
Yeah.
it shows off SpaceX's engineering skills.
But it also highlights their dedication to making spaceflight more sustainable.
Totally, and that's what I find so fascinating about this whole thing.
You've been following SpaceX's journey for years, seeing them go from those early Falcon 9 landings to this. What goes through your mind witnessing this evolution?
It's honestly amazing to see how far they've come.
When they first landed a Falcon 9 booster, it seemed revolutionary,
Right.
And now they're about to make catching a regular part of their process.
Yeah.
Not just for the booster, but for Starship, the upper stage, after it's been in orbit.
And that's a whole other ball game.
Right.
Or so catching Starship after it's been orbiting Earth.
That sounds way more intense.
Yeah.
What makes that so much harder than catching the Super Heavy booster?
It all comes down to the physics.
The Super Heavy, that gets Starship off the ground.
Right.
Powerful upward thrust. But Starship itself is designed for those crazy hypersonic speeds.
It's got to survive that intense heat of coming back through the atmosphere. They're
Yeah.
two totally different things.
So like
Imagine if you threw a fastball.
versus like a Frisbee gliding back to your hand. That's kind of the difference in forces we're talking about here.
That's a great way to put it.
And it's not even just the speed.
Okay.
Starship has to pull off this wild move
Called a belly flop.
to control its descent.
What, a belly flop?
Like what we used to do in the pool,
Except with a spaceship.
basically.
It's all about using the atmosphere to slow down.
Okay.
And remember, all this is happening while Starship is getting slammed by these crazy aerodynamic forces.
It's like trying to thread a needle while on a roller coaster.
Yeah, something like that.
And you know what?
What?
Name redacted said that SpaceX actually nailed a perfect belly flop with Starship.
No way.
During this test flight,
Get out.
it landed in the ocean, just like it was supposed to.
The maneuver itself was a complete success.
That's incredible.
Because like you said, this isn't just some cool trick.
Yeah.
It's a key part of SpaceX's vision for Starship. Catching the booster and Starship, that's how they're going to make things cheaper and more sustainable.
Right.
Less waste, more missions,
Right.
It's the foundation of all their goals.
Speaking of goals.
Name Redacted got some amazing pictures from the launch.
Did they?
The sheer size of the Super Heavy, the way those catch arms just reached out and grabbed it.
You really get a sense of the power and precision.
They do a good job of capturing the essence of what SpaceX is all about.
They're not just building rockets. They want to make it a multi-planetary species.
And those pictures,
Those are like postcards from that future.
it's more than just a show, though.
Right.
This has huge implications for the future of space exploration.
Especially for NASA's Artemis program.
For sure.
It's kind of wild to think that catching a booster like they did
Could actually help us build a base on the moon.
It's a huge step.
Can you explain how that works?
Sure, it all comes back to Starship.
NASA chose Starship as the lander for the Artemis missions. So picture this. Instead of being a one-time use vehicle.
Starship could come back from the moon
Okay.
and get caught,
Yeah.
just like the Super Heavy booster.
Wow.
That would totally change lunar exploration.
Make it way cheaper and more sustainable.
A reusable lunar shuttle.
That would be unbelievable.
It would be a game changer.
It would open up so many possibilities.
Exactly.
More research, using resources on the moon, even having people live there permanently.
Exactly. We could have more missions, carry more stuff each time.
And even have people on the moon all the time.
All because of this tech.
It's pretty amazing.
But as cool as this booster catch was,
Name Redacted mentioned that SpaceX wants to try catching Starship.
after it's been in orbit,
Right.
and they're aiming to do that next year,
It's ambitious.
that feels like a whole other level of crazy.
What are the biggest challenges they'll have to deal with to pull that off?
Well, catching Starship after it's orbited Earth,
Yeah.
that's way harder.
We're talking about a spacecraft dealing with crazy heat.
And stress when it comes back into the atmosphere so fast,
Yeah.
making sure it doesn't break apart during that high-speed catch.
That's a huge challenge.
It makes you realize this isn't just about engineering.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're trying to break the laws of physics.
It's pushing the limits for sure.
SpaceX will need to make their guidance and control systems even better.
And they have to account for those insane speeds and temperatures.
It's a huge task, but if anyone can do it,
It's them.
it's really exciting to think about what they'll do next,
It's an exciting time.
especially with SpaceX always pushing the boundaries.
What an incredible time to be following space exploration.
It really is. Every successful test, every milestone.
It brings us closer to understanding the universe.
Yeah.
It makes people dream big and inspires the next generation to aim for the stars.
It's been awesome talking about this with you.
It's been fun.
Until next time, keep looking up, everyone, and who knows what we'll discover together.